Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of From Service to Self. And we have Miss Erica Barnett with us. And I am so happy, girl, to see you and to catch up. And thank you for joining us. I'm going to ask you, for starters, for everybody that's listening, what branch of service did you serve and how many years?
First, my name is Erica Barnett Elliott, and
Look, get me right,
that's
girl. Get me right. The sis got married and she all the way grown up. So got that name changed. Thank you,
yeah.
honey.
So yes, I kept my maiden name as my middle name, and
Okay.
I served in the military for 29 years. And I was in the Navy. I was a command master chief at the end of my Navy career.
That's what's up. I told everybody Navy is representing. Like legitly everybody that's been on has been Navy. So I love that for us. Okay, Erica, first question, all right. What inspired you to join the Navy and what do you remember most about your time in service?
So I will tell you the honest truth. There was very little inspiration
Okay.
and more of a push from my mother. And when I say a push, I'm putting it politely because it was either you go to the Navy or you don't be here
Yeah.
type of deal. And I could respect that with my mom because I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I was in New York at a time where New York was, we just came off of the wave of the crack epidemic and gun violence and
Yeah.
all these things. And for me myself, it was I suffered a major tragedy. One of my friends got shot in front of me when I was 16. So just going through that emotional roller coaster and even healing, I decided that I didn't if I'm going to be anywhere dodging bullets,
Yeah.
why not in the military?
Got you. Got you. Got you. Got
So
you.
the inspiration was more of my mother's kind of she had some information, it just wasn't all the way correct. It was kind of accurate, but not she didn't have the full picture. So she said the Navy was a better option because the Navy had a bigger budget, DoD budget.
I see.
Now, in her perspective, she thought that meant, well, they have a bigger budget, so you will have more incentives and get more money
I
and things
see.
like that. But the Navy has a bigger budget because we have more aircraft, more ships, and to power nuclear ships and submarines, it costs the Navy a lot of money.
Yeah.
So that's where the budget thing came from. But she thought it was going to benefit me. What I would say is that was, if anything was inspiration, that was the inspiration to pick Navy.
Got
Otherwise than that, my mother, it was more of a not even, I would say compelling suggestion that you need to join the military and get out of Brooklyn. And it was a good choice,
Got it.
I
Got it.
could
Well, that's
say.
good. That's good for sure. Good that it was a good choice. Um,
Well, it had to be
yeah, right, right, right.
29 years, right?
So, but what do you remember about that time in service then? So you that was a long time to serve. So what do you remember most about your time in service?
You know what sticks out to me the most is my experience in boot camp. So, being coming from a place like New York, right, a big city,
Yeah.
it's a melting pot. So I experienced, I would say on the surface, a lot of different cultures, races, ethnicities, and so forth. So it wasn't a culture shock for me, but it was a culture shock for other people that didn't experience that. And in boot camp, we had the me and the other black females, we had the most interesting experience. And I always tell this story like my niece is in the Navy now, my daughter wants to join the Navy, and I always tell them this story because I feel like we were very resilient to go through this. Us as African American women, we don't wash our hair every day. I mean, that's just real, right? Some people do, but
Right.
the majority don't, right?
Right, right,
Because
right.
it's not healthy for our hair to wash all the essential oils out of it every
Exactly.
day because it's hard to replace that, right? So my RDC, my recruit division commander, did not understand that, and one one of the white females went to the RDC and complained that we weren't washing our hair every
Oh
day.
my
And
God.
because he didn't understand that that's not a thing, he
Yeah.
like had us lined up in the bathroom in our towels, and he was dressing us what he called dressing us down.
Yeah.
Like and he's like cussing us out and asking us why we're not washing out here. Like he's saying it like we're being belligerent or defiant, but
Right.
he didn't understand that that was not a thing. And like the Hispanic recruit division commander had to come to him and say, "Hey, that's not like we don't do that." like,
Right, right,
like
right.
what do
You
you?
need some education. That ain't what we do every day.
That's not what we do here. You need some diversity training.
You're
But of course, that's
right.
not a thing back then,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
It
yeah,
inclusion, diversity, all that stuff was not a thing.
yeah,
And I would say the women that came in at that time and even before me that were trailblazers and trailblazed the path, they had to go through more than what we went
yeah.
through at that moment.
Yep.
And I try to tell that story to like the younger, especially my niece. She's in the Navy right now. She's a second class,
Yeah.
and some of the stuff she complains about, I'm just like,
Like,
are you
girl, you don't
serious?
even know, right?
Let me tell you this story right here.
Exactly.
And when I told her that story, she's like, Auntie, for real? Yes, this is
Yeah.
a real thing. We were in our towel. Do you understand how shameful that is?
Yeah. Yep.
To have women in their towel, how, that is just, that had to be the most mortifying feeling to
Yeah.
feel. And we still persist and went on.
Yep.
We didn't break mentally. We were able to stand through that, get through it, and continue on.
Yeah.
And, moments like those is like, I'm trying to make y'all understand that you have to be more resilient. You have to make a choice to just look at situations like that and keep pressing.
Yeah.
So I think that's the moment that I remember the most about my military experience, or because comparing it to what I see today. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying that people have the right to be disrespected, but what I'm saying is that even when you're disrespected, you still have to stand and press on because you're blazing a trail for other people, and your presence and your representation is needed, so you have to go through those things.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
that was my thing, man. I tell that story all the time, and after 30, almost 30 years, it still is like, it is so vivid, the feeling and the experience in my mind. And I don't want to let go of it because I think it's a very important thing for young people to understand.
Yeah, for sure. That is a good message, honest to God, because this generation will never know. Like for real. They will never know. Especially if nobody tell them these situations, these stories. Y'all complaining now about stuff that's like, really? Like
Yes.
really. Like y'all be they complaining about little stuff. And I mean, not to each their own, not trying to minimize what they feel like
Right.
what they're going through, but
That's
still in
right.
all, they are going through something very different compared to what we went
Different.
through,
Mhm.
right? Because the times were different. So that's a good message, seriously.
And they have to, and in my opinion, those stories have to be told so that they can understand that, look, we went through things too. And just like you said, not to minimize anything they're
Yeah.
going through, but just to make them understand that just because you're going through it, just because it's a bad thing, it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that you need to quit, right?
Exactly. And people have
Because
had it 10 times worse. So just consider
worse,
that. When
right?
you think that you're going through rough times, there's always somebody
Look,
who has gone through something 10 times worse or are going through 10 times something 10 times worse at this
absolutely.
moment. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And I love the way you put that 10 times worse, right? Because we were able to see a lot of history growing up. I don't know
Mhm.
about most people, but I saw a lot of history.
Yeah.
Like, watch things about different of our freedom fighters that went through things. And I think that's where you say, well, they were able to persevere.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna just suck this up and
Yep.
get through it the best way I can.
Facts.
And
Facts.
that's why it's important for us to tell these stories.
I so agree. And something you just said is reminded me, like that's what we had to do. We had to suck it up and move on, like
Hmm.
get through it, get over
Hmm.
it, keep it moving, like it is what it is type of thing. And a lot of times the
Yes.
youth young people now don't really understand that message of sucking it up. Honestly, because they have a lot at their disposal. Granted, they have therapy now, they have all these people, different tools, different things. You got internet, you can research, you can figure it out, you got a million things at your fingertips. Whereas back then, that wasn't what we were being sold. That wasn't the mindset that you took on, especially in the Navy during that times. It was
Right.
exactly that. Like, suck it up, man. It is what it is. Like, period.
Yes.
And that's it.
Right. Right.
So I can so appreciate that. Like, and I'm happy we're having this conversation because honestly, like that has not been spoke on in previous episodes. So I can appreciate that. So, second question then. What has been the most challenging part of transitioning to civilian life and what helped you the most?
So I will tell you, the longer you stay in the military, the more institutionalized you become, right? So
I've
rewiring
heard
your
that.
mind to understand that you are responsible for
Yeah,
yourself, right?
yeah,
Like, so I'll give you a simple example is like medical. How much did the Navy take care of us medically?
yeah,
They like basically did everything for us. Told us when to go to our annual appointments,
yeah,
told us that we had to get these, mammograms, told us that we had to get these vaccinations or whatever it was, we were
yeah,
told to do that. Now, when you get out the military, it's up to you
yeah.
to take care of yourself. So hopefully some of the things that you are institutionalized with, you don't take it as a bad thing and you rewire your mind to know that hey, I have to do this for myself,
Yeah.
right? I have to get annual appointments. I have to go and get my annual checkup on my teeth. I have to clean my teeth every 6 to 12 months.
Yeah.
I have to do these things because it's good for me to do. Now, on the on the bad side of it is when you're institutionalized, you're so used to being around people that are
Yeah.
institutionalized as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. I know
it's
what you
kind
mean.
of
I know where
like
you're going.
when I tell you to do something, if I'm on a team or in a business, and I tell you to do something, I expect you to have the same discipline
Yeah.
that I have to know that I have to do this thing and I have to do it to the best of my ability. And
Yeah.
I have to give a great product and I have to drill down because the Navy teaches you that the longer you're
Facts.
in, the more you teach you're taught to drill down and not give up when you're faced with a barrier, right? So dealing with other people that
Yeah.
don't have no military
Yeah.
experience. It's
Yeah.
like, you really showing up here at 5 minutes after? Okay,
Exactly.
So it's just like, and then having that understanding that they're not like you.
Yep.
It's the expectation is that you want people to show up 15 minutes early, but that ain't a thing. It's not, that's the
Right.
expectation. So it's like you have to kind of bring your I don't want to say bring your expectation down, but you have to give people grace,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because you don't know what someone is going through. You don't know what the situation is. You have to look deeper, not even look deeper, but just know it's deeper than what you see on the surface,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
And when you have people, I do volunteer work or I have a team of people that are on my like financial literacy team, and we have like meetings we have to show up to, and they show up to the meetings and the camera's off, or they're
Mm.
eating a plate of food in the Zoom, and I'm like, what in the world? Like,
Right. We used to call it no military bearing, no military
yeah.
bearing at all, right? Like like
But the
square
problem
yourself
is,
away. You in the camera, look, get professional. Okay, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
so it's kind of you can't tell a civilian, don't you got some military there? Because they don't know what you're talking about, right? So
Exactly.
it's just kind of that part of it is finding where I fit in this equation and making sure that I have enough grace. I have a good balance of grace and kind of helping people calibrate themselves.
Yeah.
Because in the military, I calibrated people, but that's no more. People have to calibrate themselves or get themselves together. I can't get you together and force you to do anything. And
Right.
which in the military is not force. It's either you do or you get out, or I
Yeah.
help you to get out, right? But it's not like that anymore. And my niece, I have another niece in the military. She's a first class, and she is like, Auntie, you so stoic. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that is not the description I would want somebody to have for me.
Yeah.
But that comes a part of being in the military and always having to maintain my professionalism. And it's like I carry it out. And I don't want to be unapproachable because I can't make people do things with me unless they want to do things with
Yeah.
me. So I have to be approachable and not so, as she says, stoic.
Yeah.
So that's the part that I'm trying to figure out for myself, find that fine balance, and also just finding out, understanding my purpose and how to get there
Mm. You made
part.
a really good point actually about Just the having grace. Because honestly, I just read something not long ago and it talked about, or it basically said, like, stop expecting you from other people. And
Oh, that's
that
good.
is so good. When I tell you, I felt
That's
the same
good.
way you felt. I'm like, oh, that's good, Sparkle, because I am the first person that has these high expectations, and I expect everybody to be moving like I'm moving, operating like
Yeah.
I'm operating, have the same work ethic,
Yeah.
come in here and be about your business, business first. Like, girl, that's how I be. But everybody is not like that. Legitly, everybody is not like that. So I can't expect it
No,
from them. I have to, like you said, have grace and move in my own purpose and allow them to move in theirs, right? And I just have to
that's
respect
right.
that and just kind of find the balance, like you said, to work with them and make things happen. So that's so
Right.
good. So good. Such a gem. Okay, look at us,
Mhm.
right?
And you wasn't no joke when you was in Sparkle, Lord.
Oh,
You was like, even and we were young sailors, right? Because we were both first classes, and you was about your business, like
girl.
boom, boom, boom. Come on, let's get this, popping. Come on, that was you, and that's a good thing that the civilian sector gets to experience you. I think it wasn't the military that had you like that. That was part of your personality. And you're the type of military people that come in and already have that, I don't want to say militancy, but that, you about your business
Mm.
type of energy, and you kind of bring it when you. I know the military was very sad to lose someone like you, because it's like
Aw.
we keep less of you, people like you,
Yeah.
and more of people like the ones we have to get there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know
And
what you mean.
it takes it
I
takes years. Look, look, my husband
yeah.
had we talked about this the other day. My husband's a realtor, and he had a situation with one of his properties where they had to read, it was a city ordinance about construction or
Yeah.
doing construction. And because he's a retired command master chief, so he also is a drill down type of person. He don't
Yeah.
play around with reading, instructions and stuff like that. So he was reading the regulation, and apparently the other person didn't read all the way down. They only read to the part that they wanted to read,
Yeah.
and they missed a step, and he had to call him back and say, well, you missed this whole paragraph right here. If you would have read further down,
Yeah.
you would have got that, and it's like we are eventually we molded into people to do that. Because if you don't do that, you're gonna have a situation where you get smacked in the face with a mess, right? A
Exactly.
soup sandwich, as we call it,
Yep.
and get embarrassed,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
reprimanded in front of people, which that's not always the right way, but it happens. So you kind of learn that I want to see it in black and white.
Yeah.
I want to know that this I want to
Facts.
know that this is the up act,
Yeah.
right? So I think that's one of the things that helped me in the military, is that I can go and research stuff and look it up, and I don't depend on anyone to tell me anything,
Yeah.
because you got to show me in black and white, right?
Yeah.
And I appreciate that about, one of the things that I brought out of the military with me is that drilling down and getting more information and
Yeah.
knowing and understanding, and, having my black and white to back me up.
Yeah.
So,
No, I can respect that. I totally get that. No, I get it. I get it. And I'm like I said, like I think with people like us, we just be getting it. Like we get it. When you have that work ethic like that, you can in or out the military, you can just work together and get it, have the same mindset, get things done. I think I have said this before. It's sometimes military people like that that just kind of, like I said, you just get it. You walk into space and
mhm,
it's like, okay, she prior military. I see how you work, how you move, and it's like, okay, yeah, nah, we good. Like she gonna have the business. Like I understand it, and I love that aspect of just what military gives people. And when I sense that, when I see that, I love that. I love working with military people like that. So I can appreciate
yeah.
that.
And now I see why employers like hiring military, because
Yeah,
they know that
exactly.
that's what they're going to,
Yep.
the majority of time, that's what they're going to get.
Yeah, facts. Okay, so I'm gonna ask question three. How has your identity changed since leaving the military, personally or professionally?
So But after doing what the Navy wanted me to do for 29 years, I pretty much do what I want to do. If I don't want to do it, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Right. So I run a business. My husband has a LLC. I have a LLC, and we both run businesses because we like to do that. It's kind of like that energy of earn your leisure. Like if
Yeah.
I like to do it and it could make me money, I'm going to do it.
Facts.
Right. And I think that's my identity now, is that I do things that bring me peace. And because I've done something for 29 years that brought me a lot of stress.
Mm,
And it's not for, and I don't want people to think that the military is a bad thing, because it's not.
yeah.
It's just that it did come with a lot of stress, and it came with a lot of putting myself on the back burner because I had to take care of others
Yeah.
and I didn't take care of myself. you know um that's the part that has changed about me, personal and professional. And then, I kind of want to be a free spirit. I want to be able to get up and go.
Yeah.
And what I would say is that changed about me in the military. That's one of my personality changes in the military, is that more free spirited, but I had the freedom to be free spirited,
Mm,
right? I'm not When I came out the military, I decided I don't want to be tied to a 9 to 5. And
yeah.
that's my choice. I don't say that someone else that's
Yeah.
working a 9 to 5, that's a bad thing.
Got it.
Maybe I'll work a 9 to 5 later in my life, but right now I don't want to be tied to a 9 to 5, because I want to be able to move when I want to move. Right. Like my father-in-law passed away. I was able to change my plans at my leisure and go and help my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Right. And that's how I want to be able to move. And that's
Yeah.
part of my identity change, is I want to be able to do things for my family when I want to.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I
Not
love
when I
that.
can.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or I have to ask somebody, hey, can I put in a leave request to do this? Or can I take off? Like that is so whack. Like, so I swear to God, like I'm so serious. I remember them days, girl. I used to be like, oh my God. But I can totally understand it. That freedom is just so freeing, and I love that.
Yes.
That for you, right? So that's really, really good. I remember
Mhm.
too when we were in the military and we were in Bahrain, like honest to God, that all that you described, that whole free spirit is doing spiritness and doing what you want to do when you want to do it. I feel like we totally vibed a lot in that. Like we were like legitly spirit sisters in Bahrain.
Yes.
Like legitly, and life was so good and we were just vibing and having a good time. And I so appreciated that and valued that time, honest to God.
Yeah, I
And I
did
know
too. I did
we
too.
haven't talked in so long and I haven't been able to tell you that, but I truly valued that time. Like the time that we
I
spent
did too.
like fellowship and just having a good time, just being together, doing spa days, brunch, like all
Right.
in our word, girl, praying, fasting, all of that. Like it was
Did
lit. It was lit. And I love
Yeah.
that.
We definitely brought value to each other, because like I said, our vision was aligned for the self-care. We used to run together. I remember you was trying to teach me how to swim. Girl, still don't know how to swim. Remember you trying to teach me how to swim?
Girl, what? I did not remember that.
Yeah,
What?
'cause in your building, because you swim, and in your building, y'all had
Yeah, yeah,
you had a pool. And I was like, Sparkle, I don't know how to swim. She was like, girl, I'm gonna teach you.
yeah.
Used to have me like twisting my head. So you got to twist your head and you take a breath and then you go.
Oh, that is so good. I love
It
that.
was amazing. And you know what? To this day, I still want to learn how to swim.
Yeah.
Like that's on my bucket list, is learning how to skate, learning how to swim, all the things that I didn't have time to do when I was in the
Yeah.
military. And I don't care. People are like, oh, you don't think you're too old for that? No, I don't.
No. You
You're
look.
only too old for what you think you're too old for.
Exactly. 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 Age a number
So,
to number. Do your thing, live your
yeah,
best life, have fun, and do all the things that you want to do. Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's what's up. Okay, question four. What role does style, self-care, or self-expression play in your life today?
So this is interesting. Okay, so coming from a place like New York, right?
Yeah.
Always been into fashion, right? Knew about like high-end fashion when I was in junior high school,
Yeah.
right? And being in the military, wearing a uniform most of the time, I didn't have a very large wardrobe. Like I went to church, so I had a lot of church clothes.
Yeah.
And I started a business before I got out the military, so I started creeping into having a few pieces, but now that's like a mission right now. I am trying to find my vibe, and that's what's been so helpful about like your YouTubes,
Yeah.
your posts. Like I've taken a lot from your posts,
Oh,
because
yay.
you don't have people that can always style you, and I'm not bound to like one style. I like a lot of variety of styles,
Yeah.
and just trying to find where I fit with my style
Yeah.
in this whole style picture. I have business meetings, I have a lot of like banquets that I go to, and it's just so much that I have to look up a lot
Yeah.
to know like what's the appropriate dress for this,
Right, right, right.
because for us it was like what's the appropriate uniform for
Right.
this.
Exactly.
And it's
Exactly.
that uniform that you go to instead of that dress, and I'm just trying to like do more with that and be
Yeah.
more intentional, right? I don't want to be looking frumpy and because you like wearing like in the house. I like wearing stuff that's like real comfortable
Yeah,
and
yeah.
feels real soft or whatever, but I can't wear that outside. So
Got
it's
you.
kind of that style plays a big role in my life as far as appropriate dress and finding my style vibe.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love that.
Mhm.
And so here's my opportunity to plug. I'm actually on YouTube now doing a series called The Easy Outfit Edit, and it's so good. Honestly, check it out because I love the fact that it's quick tips that just kind of prepare you to walk into the new season, i.e., fall now. And it's
Yes.
just quick tips to like you just said, find your style, find your vibe, and to create a uniform for yourself. And so I love that. But I'm always here for you, honey. If you need to hit me up, do a consultation, like I can style you, girl, for all of the gigs, all of the vibes, all of the events. Okay.
Yes, yeah, that's why I
Lifestyle
got
by
your
Sparkle. Let's
WhatsApp.
get it. Look.
Yes, yeah, I love it though. And it's funny that you say that because I've seen other YouTubes that says the same thing that you're saying. So I know you know what you're talking about, right? Because I've seen consistently heard the word uniform used
Yeah.
for styling yourself with civilian clothes. And I really didn't assimilate how uniform goes with civilian clothes as well. And
Right. I
I'm
get it.
I'm a big blazer kind of person. I
Me
love
too.
blazers,
Got
right?
you.
So
I got you.
when I saw that you had the blazer thing going on, I was like, this is perfect. She could teach me. And like and you put me onto the sambas. Uh
I hear that from
First of
everybody.
all,
Legitly, I hear that.
you look, Adidas better give you a plug for real, because I done bought two pair of Sambas because I was always a Stan Smith kind of person,
Yeah.
but Sambas I never was interested in it, but my daughter loves
Yeah.
Sambas, right? So when I saw how you was, styling with the Sambas and the skirts, and I said, you know
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. And then it's amazing because I can't always wear heels. Like
I
being
feel
in the
you.
military, my foot has had issues and I can't be in heels for hours like I used to walking down city streets.
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore, and you have given me, the hope of I could still look good and be comfortable.
Yeah,
you
facts.
know
Like legitly facts. I love that for you though. Okay, honey,
yeah.
style come through. Like, yes. No, but that's really good. And I can understand what you mean too, because that's the purpose of my YouTube channel, honestly, is to with this series is running on Fridays and it's something different just to give importance to women veterans and allow women veterans to have a voice. But the channel
Yeah.
centers around women, period, who are either transitioning in their professional lives, in their lives, just however, whatever phase. And helping you to reclaim your identity and your style and walk in confidence. So I love that we're having this conversation because legitly that's what the channel is for. And that is my mission and my priority to pour into women and encourage them to live their best life in style and in alignment. So yeah, I
hmm
love that. I love that. And like, yes, I would love to help you, honey. So just let me know. Um,
I will
I
definitely.
love that. Okay, so last question then. If you could give your younger military self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Ooh, child. Yes. So, being in financial literacy now, when I was young, I did not know a lot about financial literacy. So, my younger self is, I would advise my younger self to buy more real estate,
Mm,
young, invest more in annuities,
Okay.
right? Understanding annuities, not only IRAs, but just annuities, period. Buying proper insurance at a young age.
Yeah.
Like the, I feel like a lot of young people, because they're young and immortality is coupled with youthfulness, they don't think about dying, right? They
Mm-hmm.
don't think about covering their families and and protecting their assets through life insurance. So that's one thing I would like. My son has a life insurance policy that I pay for, but when he gets to an age where he understands how important it is, I would transfer that ownership to him. And his life insurance policy is $30,
Yeah.
and it's for um almost $300,000. So it's like his price is locked in at a young age, and he won't have to do what I did when I came out the military. Well, actually, a little bit before I came out the military, I purchased my own life insurance policy instead of depending on a group policy,
Yeah.
right? Because in the military, we have group policies, and that's our life insurance.
Okay.
However, you should own your own policy, because once you leave a job, that group policy is no more,
Gotcha.
right? The group policy goes away with the job. And then you have to go to another job and get another group policy. And then when that job is gone, what life insurance will you have? The problem with life insurance is as you get older, it gets more expensive,
Yeah.
right? And you end up paying more for life insurance when you're older. If you buy life insurance when you're young, you will lock in a better price for when you get older.
Gotcha.
And that would be the advice that I would give my young self is buy early. My husband has had clients that were 21 years old buying their first property. And in our community, especially in the African American community, we don't teach our children that. Is stop making someone else rich and start investing in yourself.
Yeah.
And that means buy your own property. You know, there's some type of fear associated with buying real estate young with young black people, and not all, I'm just saying a majority, because
Yeah.
anytime I approach a young person about buying a house, I'm not ready. But you ready to pay rent?
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah.
part of the game is that? Right.
Yeah.
So, and I
Gotcha.
get it, they weren't taught that, but I'm here to teach you that that's not a good plan. Because if you can invest in a property, even if it's a small property like a condo or something, you're building equity in that property. And when my husband's client was about 2021, couple bought a house and had to sell it less than a year later, and they made money off of that
Yeah.
sale.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if our children can learn this early, and I wish that I knew this early, that we can be better off
Yeah.
in our future. So
Exactly.
that's the advice I would give my younger self is understand buying early, annuities, life insurance, and investing in yourself. And I heard a lot of people tell me, invest in yourself, but nobody ever explained what that was.
Mm. Key. That's key.
Right? Invest in yourself means instead of buying that, and I'm going extreme with this Birkin bag, go ahead and take that and put it in an annuity,
Yeah.
right? And start building. And it does not take much to get a money market account. You can put $200 a month in a money market account. And I know people spend more on their nails. You know
Yeah.
why? Because I spend about that on my nails, right? A
Yeah.
month. So you can put that in a money market account and start building your emergency fund.
Yeah.
You could put $50 a month in a money market account and start building your emergency fund. And our children don't know that. So that's what I would advise my younger. If I could go back and tell my younger self, that's what I would do.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. Yep. Pay yourself first. Build some wealth for yourself. Even if you can build
Hmm.
some generational when you're young, do that. Like get the answers. Talk to people and find out like how you can better your future. Because that's people don't think about that. They ain't thinking about the future. They living in the now, having fun now,
Yes.
buying the things now.
Yes.
When you get older, Like it's kind of you ain't got nothing. You like, damn, I should have did something different.
I
Like
had a lot of things.
exactly. Exactly. A whole lot of things, but none of that means
Mm,
anything. You can't pass those things down really for real to nobody.
nope.
So I love that. I love that. And you're right. We need to learn those lessons when we're younger so that we build a better future for ourselves in a way that we can live and enjoy life and be able to move around and do the things we was just talking about earlier. Like just living, man, your best life. And that requires you sometimes
Hmm.
to have assets, to have money, to have, liquidity, to have what you need in order to
Yes.
move around
Mhm.
and like look, do your thing. So that's important. And I love
Mhm.
that. I totally love that.
Yes.
Well, Erica, thank you so much for being on, honey. I asked everybody, how can we lift you up? How can we show up for you? How can we support you? So tell us anything about what you got going on, what you're doing now that you transition into your civilian life. What's going on, honey?
So, me and my husband are building our business. Like I said, he's a realtor. I am studying to become a real estate agent. I'm a life insurance producer, and I'm studying to also become a registered representative. So most people won't know what a registered representative is. That's that person that you will call that would put your money in an investment,
Okay.
right? Hopefully, I can go further and become an investment advisor, but that's more tests. And if the real estate business doesn't bog me down and coupled with life insurance and annuities, I would love to become an investment advisor. So if anyone is looking for someone to just give them education about whether it be real estate, investments, or financial literacy on a whole, I'm your person. You can hit me up. Also, my husband also DJs up and down the East Coast.
Okay.
We'll go farther, traveling DJ and multimedia business where we have, 360 machines, selfie machines, up and down the East Coast. So if you are looking for a DJ, especially in the Hampton Roads area, DC, the DMV area, even down south on the East Coast, just hit us up. Fundertainment.
That's what's up. Yeah, I hit Erica up for all the things. I thank you so much for showing up, girl, sharing your story, your journey, dropping all the gems, and being a resource for people that are looking for or seeking financial information and literacy. I so thank you, honey. Thank you for being my Navy sister, just having a big
Yeah.
part in my life, and just I don't know, man, being just yeah, my Navy sister, like legit. I appreciate that the what you poured into me, our time together, all of that. I'm just so grateful. I absolutely love you and wish you all the love and light. And yeah, thank you so much. And for everybody that is watching the drops on Friday, go catch up. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to either keep this rolling or just start doing some educational videos. This was supposed to be a mini series, but we figured it all that out because I'm hearing that this is really helping people and it's really giving a voice, right? So I love that. And yeah, until next time, everyone, thank you and bye.
I love you, Sparkle. Bye.